Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney versus DeSantis.
There, we got another D in there.
D on D action. Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Sorry.
Well, which one's giving it to who? That's what
Well, it depends on the day.
Depends on the day. So yeah, we got an update. This is like a daily update here. Now Ron DeSantis is going to stick it to Disney. So I guess he's the one sticking it to Disney. And he's threatening that there are going to be road tolls and hotel taxes and all that. And this is coming after Bob Iger slammed DeSantis in the shareholders meeting.
Yeah, when he's like, you know, we are Florida because we pay the most taxes.
We are Florida.
And we speak for the taxpayers, not DeSantis, who was elected. And if you don't like us, you're anti-Florida and anti-business.
Just grab a bucket of popcorn. If you've got one of those Figment popcorn buckets, grab it, because this thing is going to drag out for months, if not years. And I don't see either one of these guys backing down.
So it's a pissing match, and we all the ones have to hold the umbrella.
Yeah, I was thinking, open up.
I was thinking golden shower, but okay.
Golden shower, that's it. Disney's golden shower. So this is a pissing match, and the people getting hosed are going to be the taxpayers of Florida and Disney's guests.
Disney's guests, yeah.
And yeah, so we're gonna talk about this. Please give us a sub if you like the content. You can give us a sub, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo! But people are going to complain anyway, because since we do a DeSantis video, they have in their head that it's all black and white, and if you agree with one side, you hate the other, and vice versa.
It's so stupid. I love this Kotaku. They're like, Florida, like they never weigh in on this shit any other time, right? And they're like, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is big mad about Disney outsmarting him.
But it's not about outsmarting him. It's about doing something really kind of questionable. And apparently now DeSantis is trying to void that agreement, the Reed Creek Agreement, which I think it sounds like he can, because under some law in Florida, they're looking into it, that it's basically if you have an agreement in place, but then there's a law, even if the law is passed after the agreement,
yeah.
The agreement must either be voided or changed to make sure it's compliant with the law.
Yeah, there's definitely, this is definitely going to go on for a long time, guys. Just so you know, I mean, I don't see this getting remedied, and I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. And look, neither DeSantis or Iger can back down. They cannot back down because they both have so much riding on this pissing match. DeSantis wants to run for president. He cannot back down from Mickey Mouse, or people are going to look at him like, what a puss. And Iger has to come back and show that he's in charge of Disney. He has a plan. He knows what's what, and that he's going to right the ship. And again, neither one of these guys can afford to back down.
Well, he just called DeSantis a bully, so now he has to, and Disney stands up against bullies. So he just put the target on his back more. He should not have said that. He should have just kept his head down at that and call. He just made it worse. God. So basically, I'm going to say it like it is. It is a pissing match. And the ones who now are going to be the ones that are going to be paying for it are the guests, because now DeSantis says that he's going to look into putting toll roads leading into the theme park. He's talking about the hotel taxes. Now, Orange County, a lot of those hotels already have a tax, a 6% tax for the county. They have a task force that's in charge of that actually too. And I think Universal is among that because it's Orange County also. But they already have this, in Orange County, they already have these taxes. I don't know if Disney was in there too or not. But what I do know is Disney in the past for property taxes have gone above and beyond to make sure they didn't have to pay their fair share. Yeah. Arguing that the Disney brand shouldn't count, it's nebulous, it shouldn't count towards the final bill, while simultaneously charging you more and more and more and saying that's because it's a Disney brand, the Disney difference. And that's why you should pay $1,000 a night for a flipping hotel room that would cost you far, far less, 10 miles away.
Oh my God, yeah. You can go to the Good Neighbor hotels. You can go to Disney Springs and you can get a much better room for a third of the price.
Yeah. So, I mean, and now they're talking about they have some land outside of Disney. They could develop something there. But what's going to happen is ultimately if they do toll the roads into the park, it's going to be on the people wanting to visit the park.
Yes.
That are going to have to pay, because guests that are coming in will have to pay. If you're getting an Uber over, they're going to have to pay the toll. So it's going to come passed on to you. And then Disney, if they have to pay a hotel tax, well, even if it goes up 6%, they'll charge you 15% more, pocket the rest, and say it's DeSantis' fault.
Yeah, so this is going to be the blame game. DeSantis is going to blame Iger. Iger's going to blame DeSantis.
And everybody else in the middle is the ones who are going to eat the cost.
And who agrees with whichever guy here, it's going to depend on your politics. That's the thing about this. Like, it's so binary at this point. Like, there's plenty of blame to go around, but people are going to look at the situation and they're going to pick a side based on their political affiliation. We have two very strong personalities. Let's put it that way. Two gentlemen with very strong personalities, and I'm being polite.
What's funny to me is it is. It's like a pissing match. And now at this point, now everybody's going to paint DeSantis as this big bully because he's going to try to it's going to cost the guests more. If it was just going after Disney directly, that's one thing. But because it's going to cost guests more, that's just giving the other side more fuel to fight back.
Yep.
And I'm still trying to understand why Iger got on the call and told everybody he basically was Florida. Meanwhile, the person elected in Florida, now he has to stand up against it because anybody would in that case.
Yeah, so let's get right into here. Deadline's got it. He said he's going to seek a legislative action to void an agreement that gives Disney World extensive control over development in a district that oversees its sprawling Florida theme parks.
The agreement that Disney made with Reedy Creek before the new law passed, he's trying to avoid that because the new law passed after it. But according to what they're saying is if a law is passed even after the agreement can be voided or it has to be modified to be acceptable under that law.
Yeah, and for those of you who are not up to speed on the situation, basically Disney snuck in some language, or the previous board snuck in some language that effectively stripped DeSantis and friends of the ability to do anything.
Except for pay for shit and maintain roads.
So now he's going to turn around and then be like, well, you can pay for shit, or the taxpayers can pay and they can blame you.
What's going to happen is the guests are going to pay and then, they're going to blame DeSantis.
So DeSantis said his office is going to be looking at other actions to take against the company, including such things as taxes on Disney World hotels, tolls on roads leading to the theme parks, and developing district property near the company's resorts.
What do you do? Put something really tacky and ugly up just to piss Disney off?
That'd be hilarious.
But then to be fair, some of the things Disney put up as tacky and ugly.
I said they would. I said, they would put a Universal billboard as close to Disney property.
Epic Universe.
As close to Disney property as possible. Make it as big as possible so you can't see the gates of Disney World.
It'll be like it'll be like a billboard that anybody can rent, but they'll strongly encourage the Universal's Epic Universe or SeaWorld or other places like that to rent it.
Or Seaman World, whatever works.
That's something that happens in all the parks backstage.
Anyway, this is what he said. What Disney has tried to do is they've tried to say they should be able to operate outside the context of our constitutional system in Florida. DeSantis said, now, we took this action prior to the election. We won overwhelmingly. They're not superior to the people of Florida. Well, Bob Iger thinks he is Florida. And from California,
he should not have said that.
From California, from his armchair in California, he's telling people he is Florida.
Do you remember? He couldn't even control Newsom. Like, he was like, I'm going to kick back and call Newsom and tell him not to shut down the theme parks and stuff. And I remember I did an article and I was like, if he does this, it's so asinine. And then he got shut down anyway. And basically the way it sounded was he thought he had some backdoor deals with Newsom about different things like the Disney reopening and stuff. And then when it came down to it, he wouldn't let them reopen. But know who did work with Disney? DeSantis.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at that. Like, here's the thing. Where, like, look, regardless of what you think, Ron DeSantis, right? I mean, I think this whole thing has escalated.
It's escalated way too far,
above and beyond where it needed to go, right? Regardless of what you think of him, Disney would be completely screwed right now if Florida was not allowed to open. If you couldn't open the theme parks in Florida, because that was a huge chunk of their revenue. Their theaters were down. California was down.
They were calling out Newsom and saying he was anti-business when he didn't give them their way.
That's basically their go-to.
And that's what they're doing now. You're anti-business. Yeah, but DeSantis is why you got to open up and basically Disney World opening up saved your ass. I mean, let's be honest. Disney Plus and Disney World being allowed to open saved your ass, because Disneyland wasn't allowed to open for more than a year after Disney, or no, it was, I guess, a little bit less than a year than Disney World was.
It was a long time.
It was a long time. And then, you guys were yelling and screaming about Newsom and how he was anti-business and is hurting you. And now that you got that open, now you're like trying to use the same maneuver on DeSantis. And Bob Iger really needs to just stop.
Yeah. So anyway, this was at Hillsdale College in Michigan. days after Bob Iger chided the governor. He said, they're not superior to the people of Florida. Come hell or high water, we're going to make sure that the policy of Florida carries the day. And so they can keep trying to do things, but ultimately we're going to win on every single issue involving Disney. I can tell you that. Why he's talking about this in Michigan is beyond me.
But I mean, but Iger, every time it looks like it's gonna calm.
Yeah.
They do something stupid. Like they got the thing, they took the district away, which Disney honestly should have had that district taken away a long time ago, which I've said repeatedly. It should have come down to DeSantis to do it. And I'm a little irritated that no one did it until they were forced to. They were fine to let the mouse just run everything until they had no choice. But DeSantis did it, took it away, which should have been done. Okay. And then instead of just like, okay, we're going to work with what we got. We're going to play ball. We're going to get this taken care of. No, they turned around and did what they did. And then their attitude is so arrogant. And then he gets up on the shareholder meeting and people are calling in and they were bitching him out. And his arrogant attitude got worse. And then he made the comments he made. It's like if Iger would stop talking, Disney would be facing a lot less trouble. But he will not stop talking. And then I think DeSantis kind of goes the other way. But,
again, DeSantis,
they need to meet in the middle here.
They're not going to, because there's an election coming up and basically Disney's on the line. The presidential election's on the line. These two are going to keep.
We don't even know if he's going to be up for election or not. We don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking, I think Disney's out of line because this is like the government of Florida now. And I think that they're overstepping. I 100% think Disney's overstepping. I thought Bob Iger was being a complete douche. That being said, I think this comes across as being petty on DeSantis's part. And I don't know if that's going to help him or it's going to hurt him because now across the country, people that are like Disney fans are going to be like, well, it's going to cost me more to go to Disney World. I'm going to blame you. Even though Disney World themselves, like I said, if they give like a 6% tax on the hotel, Disney will charge you 15, pocket the rest, and then say it was for, their district or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to raise prices no matter what they do.
In his latest remarks, DeSantis appeared irritated by the media reports on the battle with Disney and that the idea that the company pulled one over on the state. Well, everybody kept running with that.
That's what they're running with.
It's like, nah, Disney did some underhanded
Disney did do some underhanded shit. I'm sorry.
There will be a lot that comes out over the next month or two, but suffice to say the legislature is going to void anything Disney did on the way out the door. DeSantis said, now that Disney has reopened this issue, again, they reopened it. Disney, it was done. It was a done deal. And we knew something was up because Disney was way too calm. They weren't fighting it at all.
I guess some of the comments Iger made gives them leverage to reopen it, I guess, because he was basically admitting.
Oh, that we stuck it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. We're just not going to void the development agreement they tried to do. We're going to look at things like taxes on hotels.
Which they already do in other areas of Orlando.
Yep. We're going to look at things like tolls on roads. We're going to look at things like developing some of the property that the district owns. In his remarks, he was also clear that the move to strip Disney of control over Reedy Creek was in response to the parental rights bill. We just had to look at this and say, okay, do they have a, quote, First Amendment right to be advocating for gender ideology in kindergarten? Yeah, I guess. Is that honestly faithful to their fiduciary duty to their shareholders? I don't think so.
But to be fair, though, it's not his job to determine the fiduciary duty to the shareholders.
He said that's not really in my wheelhouse as governor.
There you go.
But
to his credit, he was right.
Yeah, what I can tell you as governor is that under no circumstances should the state of Florida be subsidizing woke activism by allowing them to have their own government. So he took it away.
Well, the fact is that he should not be having their own government at all. They were collecting taxes on hotels for Reedy Creek. Like the money would go to Reedy Creek itself. So basically the tax money would go back to themselves to do with what they wanted. They weren't having to verify things. They weren't having to be held to the same standards. Other locations would have to be held to. I told you again, and I will say it again, about the first responders and what a dangerous situation that was. And for years, I can tell you for a fact, for years, they've been trying to get the media and get the word out there and talk about the problem. Because I've been covering this for years. Well before we did YouTube, I was covering this stuff. I was covering this stuff. I'm telling you, it's been an ongoing issue.
Yeah, Reedy Creek is basically what happens when you let a money-grubbing corporation take control of infrastructure for community or whatever.
Most people weren't even aware of it. Like, I don't think the general public even knew that Disney had the rights to do that. They didn't know. They knew that they called things Reedy Creek, but they didn't know why. We did. Yeah. But a lot of people that are the general public didn't know.
At first, I actually thought, the first time we went to Disney World, I was like, oh, Reedy Creek must be like the next town over or something, or it must be like a company, or it must be, no. and I didn't fully understand how the situation worked. And basically Disney has been taking advantage for decades. They never should have had this much power.
And then instead of just okay, you weren't losing much. You really weren't. You have a board that oversees to make sure that you are in compliance and that things are maintained and things are up to standards, and you don't get to just dictate everything. You can't build a stupid nuclear power plant if you wanted to an airport. That you still were going to get your own way for a lot of things, but you couldn't leave well enough alone. And, they should have had this stripped a long time ago. I think they were being, really nice in the way they handled it the first time. Yeah. Saying people shouldn't have, I don't know if it should have been appointed by the government, but I do think that, saying people should not have had attachments to theme parks is fair, because, then people aren't going to be on the take from they were working for Disney, and on the take, which that has been up for debate about the other board.
Yeah.
So that was a fair ask, but it could have been worked out, and it could have been resolved and brought back to balance, and Disney just would not stop.
Yeah, this is, just looking at the comments, and they're almost all anonymous, by the way. You can see people being polarized, basically oh, Trump's going to eat this guy alive because he can't even handle Mickey Mouse. And you got other people he's completely unhinged. Disney needs to just pack up and move.
Disney can't just pack up and move.
This is just crazy.
If Republicans going to Prezi full and flash. See, here's what I'm talking about. No one will just look at this on the basis of here's the facts, here's what it is. It's always either fucking red or fucking blue. And I'm so fucking tired of both of it. You know what? Here's the facts. Here's the situation. If you're looking at it, you strip your own political bias out of it and take a look at it. We'd be a lot further along. But everybody keeps trying to paint it with their, whatever colored Smurf or, rose glasses, and then just stop. I'm tired. You see even most, you're talking about a cartoon show, and then somehow it devolves into Republicans versus Democrats. I'm like, oh my God.
This character is a stand-in for Trump, and this character represents the activists, and this is it's just whatever. Look, it boils down to basically right-wingers are gonna they're gonna be thrilled that DeSantis is doing what he's doing. Left-wingers are gonna be no.
He's kicking DeSantis' ass. Go
but I'm in what bizarro world do we? It feels like a lot of things have flip-flopped. I'm in what bizarro world would Democrats be rooting for one of the most ruthless corporations on the planet to get their way and have their own government? Just because they want to stick it to Ron DeSantis?
Well, that's part of it. And then because it's Mickey Mouse.
Because that sets a precedent too, right? Doesn't that set a precedent that corporations can basically own your town? They can run shit. They can. They already.
They kind of do, but at least they don't do the quiet part out loud. Yeah, right. I'm just this whole idea that everything has to be. Yes, DeSantis is Republican. Yes, Bob Iger is Democrat, and he also said he wanted to run for government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the case. But you know what? If you just look at the facts of the situation and take that out of it, I think Iger is not helping Disney. He is making it worse, and I think DeSantis is kind of overcompensating as well.
It's just shit show. This is gonna go on for months.
You're both pretty. You both have big dicks. We get it.
No, they don't.
No, I'm just you tell them they do.
Oh,
so they stop.
Wait.
We know that there's.
But you mean you didn't mean it? All these years and you didn't mean it?
It's a girl trick. Yes, your dick's plenty big. Okay, no.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know how to respond either. Anyway.
We're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
All right. This has gone way too long. Guys, look.
I just wanted to them to all knock it off.
They're not going to.
No.
This is going to go on for a long time.
At the end of the day, who am I going to side with more in this situation? Who would you side with more in this situation?
I think that Disney's overstepping.
Yes.
I think DeSantis is vindictive AF, and I don't agree with everything he does, but
it's more his side. I think I'm siding more with him than I am.
I would say in this case, in my opinion, it'd be like an 80-20. I think Disney Disney has overstepped for years. They've massively overstepped. They shouldn't have stepped into the politics, and now it's become a pissing match. That being said, I think DeSantis is posturing because he wants to be the president, and so he's got to pick a target, and he's got to.
But he also is in charge of Florida, so he has to stand up for Florida.
Yeah.
And Bob Iger's basically like, I pay more taxes than any of you, so I own Florida. So I kind of see why he's coming
from
back.
California. He's telling
All right. So I can
Floridians that he owns.
I can kind of get why he's getting this angry. Unfortunately, by what he's suggesting they do, it's going to just not work to his advantage. The general public are just going to be like, you're just a bully, like Iger said. You're going to cost us more money. Even though, as I said before, Disney has no problem jacking prices up on you, far more than he's going to. But
most of the people who complain about it have never been, nor will they ever visit a Disney theme park.
That's true.
I'm just being
They
honest.
used to make you pay for parking at the hotel. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're paying a toll to get in for like a few bucks, it's still a better deal than paying to park at the hotel.
These are the same people that were complaining about the cost of Disney and how classist it was that Disney cost so much just
Yes.
six months ago. You know, it was like, oh my God, guys, you know, Disney, it's classism because everybody can't afford to go to Disney. And now it's going to be like, Disney are the good guys. They're the good guys, sticking it to the governor who's going to tax us. And I'm going to tell you this from Portland. And I am never going to go to Walt Disney World, but I'm going to sit here in Portland and tell you that, you know, DeSantis can choke on it. You know?
I'm just like, people in Florida voted for DeSantis. And Iger did, his comments at the shareholder meeting were so stupid.
Yeah, he really.
I mean, he put DeSantis in a position where he has to do something.
Iger is, at this point, I mean, they got rid of Ike Perlmutter, and this is a whole other thing. And we did the video earlier about doubling down on Rey Skywalker with Star Wars. Iger's back. He's basically ticking off his enemies list, and he's getting rid of people, and he's trying to set himself up as being the man. And I think his hubris, I think, is going to. Disney's going to collapse.
Hey, you know, maybe
He's
DeSantis is doing them a favor because Iger said they have a problem with they have too much demand. Maybe
and an undesirable mix.
Right.
Yeah,
so
they can't afford to pay the tolls to get
if
into
they
Disney,
have to pay tolls and they put hotel taxes
there you
in, Disney's problem with, you know, we have too many guests and who do we weed out to make it to, you know, the family from Denver, the annual pass holders. Well, this would solve it for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just sitting here like I see issues on both sides, and I see a lot more issues on one than the other. And I think, though, I'm so tired of it all being about, oh, because he's a Republican and he's a Democrat. I'm just like, can we just look at the facts of the situation? And from a place of I'm neither side. I'm just looking at the facts and take it from there.
The fact of the matter is we have a corporation overstepping. We have a governor who wants to be president, and all the people of Florida and the Disney fans guess they're going to get caught in the middle of a pissing match.
That's basically what it is. At the end of the day, it's
Everybody's going to pay for this. You know, at the end of it, everybody's going to wind up paying for this.
Disney will make sure if there's any financial repercussions, they'll never be the ones that eat the cost.
Absolutely.
It'll be all of you.
All right. Disney loves to watch you eat it. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.